The buffalo is a large-hoofed mammal that belongs to the Bovidae family. There are two main species, the African Cape buffalo and the Asian water buffalo. These massive animals have a dark grey or black coat, resembling bulls in appearance, and that's our focus this week on Animal Life on ARCN TV, Mabushi, Abuja. I am Fatima Suleiman. Please stay with us. The buffalo is frequently mistaken for bison, a confusion that dates back to early American settlers who refers to bison as buffalo due to their physical resemblance. However, despite both being bovine, bisons belong to a different genus than true buffalo, making them a distinctive species. Buffaloes are large animals with adults typically weighing between 900 to 1,200 kg, which is made up of muscle and bone. Their coats are thick and shaggy and can vary in color from black to brown to gray. Buffaloes are herbivores and feed on varieties of plants, including grasses, leaves, and aquatic vegetation. They are also excellent swimmers and have been known to wade into water to escape heat or find food.
Buffalo, also known as African Cape buffalo, are renowned for their unpredictable and dangerous nature. They can become aggressive in various situations, such as when they feel threatened or concerned and are protecting their young or territory, or during mating season. Additionally, when they are wounded, surprised, or experiencing stress and discomfort due to heat, thirst, or hunger, they may become aggressive. Even when they are in a small herd or alone, they can be more prone to aggression. It is essential to exercise extreme caution and respect their personal space when interacting with buffalo in the wild or in captivity. Keeping a safe distance and avoiding sudden movement or loud noises that may provoke them. Calming down aggressive or threatening buffalo requires a careful and gentle approach. It is essential to maintain a safe distance to avoid provoking them, while moving slowly and quietly to avoid sudden movements or loud noises. Avoiding direct eye contact, which can be perceived as a challenge or threat, it is also crucial. Instead, speak in a soft, gentle voice and use open and relaxed body language to show you mean no harm to them. In some cases, offering food like grass or hay can help distract and calm the buffalo. If the situation becomes too dangerous or you are unsure of how to proceed, seek assistance from a wildlife expert or professional handler. Remember, buffaloes are wild animals that deserve respect and caution, and prioritizing safety is always the best course of action. Additionally, it is important to be aware of your surroundings and the buffalo's body language. If they are snorting, pawing the ground, or displaying their horns, it's a sign they are feeling threatened or defensive. Back away slowly and give them a clear path to leave, as blocking their path can trigger an attack. It is always better to prioritize caution and respect when interacting with wild animals like buffalo. When interacting with buffalo, it is crucial to be aware of your surroundings and the animal behaviors. Signs of agitation or defensiveness include raised hackles, a lowered head, snorting, pawing the ground, or scraping their horns on the ground. If you notice any of these signs, stay calm and move slowly, avoiding direct eye contact. Back away slowly and give the buffalo a clear path to leave without blocking their path or consigning them. Keep a safe distance and try to leave the area without turning your back on the buffalo. Remember, buffalo are unpredictable and can charge at any moment, so prioritizing your safety and the safety of those around is essential. Since the early 90s, the African buffalo has been revered as one of the most formidable creatures on the African continent. With its immense strength, even the majestic lion, often referred to as the king of the jungle, find it a daunting task to hunt these powerful animals. Despite their fearsome reputation, buffaloes are social herbivores that roam the lush grasslands of londolozy, selectively grazing on the most nutritious pasture to sustain their massive bodies. There are two primary reasons why buffalo congregate in certain areas: the need for mud wallows and a constant supply of soft green grass. As buffalo age, they continue to move with their herd, but older bulls can split off into smaller groups. These older bulls have deteriorating hair coats, which leaves them vulnerable to the sun and parasites. To protect themselves, they wallow in mud, using it as a barrier against sun's harsh rays and pesky insects. Additionally, as their teeth wear down with age, they seek out areas with soft green grass, which is typically found near reliable water sources. This allowed them to feed comfortably and sustain themselves. When buffalo bulls venture out on their own, leaving the safety of their herd behind, they become more vulnerable to predators. This solidarity lifestyle demands constant vigilance, as they must be prepared to defend themselves at a moment's notice. They are excellent grazers and can consume up to 30 to 40 kg of food per day. Buffaloes are special animals and live in large herds, typically led by a dominant female. These herds can range in size from 10 to 1,000 individuals and are often made up of females and their offspring. Males will often form bachelor groups or wander on their own, only joining the herd for mating. Buffaloes are diurnal, spending most of their time grazing and resting during the day. They are also excellent swimmers and will often wade into water to cool off or escape predators. Buffaloes have a strong sense of smell and can detect water and food from far away. Their sense of hearing is also highly developed, and they can detect sounds from great distance. Mating occurs during the wet season, with males engaging in fierce battles for dominance. Females give birth to a single calf after a gestation period of approximately 11 months. Calves are weaned after 6 to 8 months and reach sexual maturity at 2 to 3 years. Buffaloes have few natural predators, but are vulnerable to lion, hyenas, and humans. Habitat loss, fragmentations, and human-wildlife conflicts are major threats to buffalo populations. Conservation efforts are necessary to protect buffalo populations and their habitats. Buffaloes are an important part of many ecosystems, playing a vital role in shaping their environments. They are ecosystems engineers, creating pathways and clearing that benefit other species. Their grazing habits help maintain healthy grassland, promoting biodiversity. In some cultures, buffaloes are considered sacred animals associated with spiritual and cultural significance. They are an important food source, providing meat, milk, and other products. Buffaloes are also used for draft purposes, such as plowing fields and transporting goods. Their hides are valued for leather production, and their horns are used for decorative and ceremonial purposes. Buffaloes are known for their strength and endurance. Able to run at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. They are also excellent swimmers, able to cross rivers and lakes with ease. Buffaloes have a highly developed sense of smell, able to detect water and food from far away. Their hearing and vision are also acute, helping them to detect predators and navigate their surroundings. Buffaloes are social animals, living in large herds with complex social structures. These herds are usually led by a dominant female, with males playing a peripheral role. Female buffaloes are known for their strong maternal bonds, caring for their calves with dedication. Males often engage in play fighting and other forms of social behavior. Buffaloes are intelligent animals, able to problem solve and adapt to new situations. They are also to communicate with each other through a variety of vocalizations and body language. Buffaloes have a rich history with evidence of domestication dating back thousands of years. They were an important part of many ancient cultures, including the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. In North America, buffaloes were a vital part of the ecosystem and Native American cultures. Their numbers were drastically reduced in the 19th century due to overhunting and habitat loss. Conservation efforts have helped restore buffaloes' population in some areas. Today, buffaloes are found in many parts of the world, including North and South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Buffaloes are an important part of many agricultural industries, including dairy and meat production. Buffaloes are also used in conservation efforts, helping to maintain healthy ecosystems. Their strength and endurance make them valuable for draft purposes. Buffaloes are also used in therapy and education programs. They are an important symbol in many cultures, representing strength, resilience, and community. Buffaloes are a vital part of many traditional diets, providing nutritious meat and milk. Their milk is rich in nutrients, making it a popular choice for cheese and yogurt production. Buffaloes are also used in land management, helping to maintain healthy grasslands. They are an important part of many cultural festivals and celebrations. Buffaloes are a popular tourist attraction, with many farms and sanctuaries offering tours. They are also an important part of many scientific studies, helping to understand animal behavior and ecology. Buffaloes are a true marvel of nature, with their strength, intelligence, and social complexity making them a fascinating animal. Buffaloes are ecologically important as both grazers and seed dispersers, helping to maintain healthy grasslands and forests. Their digging and trembling also creates pathways and clearing that benefits other animals. In addition to their ecological role, buffaloes have cultural and historical significance in many societies. They have been domesticated for thousands of years, providing milk, meat, and labor for human communities. In some cultures, buffaloes are revered as sacred animals associated with strength, fertility, and prosperity. Buffaloes are also an important food source, with their meat and organs used in traditional cuisines. However, habitat loss, fragmentations due to human activities have led to declining buffalo population. Human-wildlife conflict is also a major threat, as buffalo may damage crops or property. Conservation efforts such as habitat protection and restoration are necessary to protect buffalo population. Transboundary conservation initiatives are necessary for protecting migratory buffalo populations. Buffaloes are an important part of their ecosystem, playing a vital role in shaping their environment. Their loss could have cascading effects on ecosystem structure and function. Therefore, conservation efforts must prioritize protecting buffalo populations and their habitats. Sustainable land use practices such as agroforestry and regenerative agriculture can help reduce human-wildlife conflicts. Overall, buffaloes play a vital role in shaping their ecosystem and are an important part of their environment.
Today's episode of the program has a little twist to it, as we will be talking to the zookeeper, where he will be giving us some insights on buffalo. Please stay tuned and take a look.
We are here in the buffalo enclosure. The buffaloes are the bush cows, and they are herbivorous animals. We fed them twice in a day, morning and evening, just like my colleague was saying. The buffaloes have a very good sense of smelling and poor sight, especially in the daytime. So they can detect from afar the aroma of the food. To them it's an aroma, what we fed them with. We fed them in the morning with bran, then later with grasses. Like I told you before, we do foraging in the afternoon, which is the herbs. And then their habitat is forest like this, thick forest. And they are wild animals. They attack with their horns. And you know, before we fed them in here, we have to lock them inside the container because there's no way you can enter while the buffaloes are in, because they are very, very dangerous animals. They attack with their horns. So we lower them into their cages with food while they will be busy eating. Then we now go and lock them in before we enter and make cleaning before feeding them. So we do that twice in a day, morning and evening. And the buffaloes can live up to 24 to 25 years under captive. You know, animal under captive, they have chances of living longer than the one in the wilds, because under captive we bring their food at the right time. When they are sick, we treat them. If there's any problem, we check under them every day. But in the wild, they have to go on their own, travel for miles looking for food, and there are a lot of competitions. And there are also prey in the wild who attacks them, like the lions. Even though they are very strong, one lion cannot kill them. It has to be like 2 or 3 lions before they can pull down one buffalo, because they are very, very strong animals with their horns. So, you know, in captive, you know, they fall sick, and then we treat them orally as well. We treat them orally as well inside their water or their food. And when the case is much, we have to use tranquilizer and knock them down. There's what we call tranquilizer or M99. That is the drugs we use to knock down all those wild animals like the buffalo. The tranquilizer, you have to shoot them on their muzzles, and before you can be able to go in and touch them. Because if the case is much, it's not oral that is going to take care of the cases. Then you have to use injection. And then you cannot expect to just go in and then catch buffalo and inject him. You have to knock them down by using tranquilizer and shoot them on their muzzles, not the live gun. Tranquilizer or M99. When you shoot them on their muzzles, the animals will sleep and then you have to time the time you are going to use to treat them. If it is the timing is about 1 hour, you make sure your drugs is going to cover that 1 hour, so that your safety, because anything you are doing, you have to think of your safety first before the safety of the animals. Yeah.
So why do you keep just 2 in captivity?
Good. We started with 4 here, so there are a lot of issues. Mortality may come up naturally. So we lost even this one. We are born here. The mothers died, and then we had the big female and male buffaloes, but they died. They gave this one birth, but they first gave birth to the Juliet, which is 7 years old. Then the Romeo, the mother died while Romeo was sucking. Sorry, I was just telling you Romeo and Juliet. We named them after their parent. We had the big Romeo and the Juliet, which died a few years back. So when they gave birth to this young one, we named them after their parents. So now we have the Romeo and Juliet, and you can see how they respond once you call them, especially when you are coming with the food. When you call the Romeo, they can easily respond to you and come close. The animals are sensitive to food. You can easily tie them down with food.
So do they communicate with each other?
They also communicate with their ears and their head. That is how they communicate, mostly with their ears. They give sign.
What's the cost of the death of their...
It's natural death. The Romeo died at the age of 24. I told you the lifespan is about 24 or 25 under captive. We just came in the morning and found him dead. The Romeo is 2 times of this Romeo you are seeing. It's very, very huge. In fact, before even we could remove him from here, it took us hours before we could remove the dead ones here, because it's very, very huge. So it's natural death. Yeah, and the Juliet died in the course of giving birth to the Juliet, younger one. So she had a lot of complications. That is how she cannot survive. She could not survive, I mean.
So what are the common diseases that affect this?
The common disease under captive mostly is all these parasites, like I told you, ectoparasite, like the ticks, and then the lice and the other flies. So those are the things that naturally or mostly affect them here, because I told you they don't move around; they stay in one place, so they have chances of catching all those diseases.
So do you invite veterinary doctors?
Yeah, we have a veterinary doctor on ground that treats them. Like I told you, it's oral. Like the parasite, the ticks I was talking about, we treat them with pour-on. And then you can see flies are disturbing them. We have flies, and then it's because of the environment. And then we use, what do you call it? The pour-on to drive flies, or flies repellent. Sometimes, once in a while, we put it in their body so that it can drive out the flies. And then the pour-on is a chemical drugs for flies, for ticks only. Chase them, so we apply it in their body, or we spread it in where the ticks are.
So the buffalo is a mama, it's a herbivorous animal. It gives birth to just 1 calf at a time. From the head of the buffalo to the body of the buffalo has a 8 to 9 feet. And then from the tail region downwards has a size of 2 to 3.3 feet. Yeah, the buffaloes feed on chaffs, dry chaffs mainly. Yeah, they have, as you can see, their food is divided into 2 sections. Yes, they have a 2 feeding trough, which,
Divided into 2 sections.
yeah, because of the food, the competition. So they can eat equal ration of food, because if you put their food in one feeding trough, the male would not allow the female to eat, and they will have a lot of competition. That's when malfeeding is coming in, lot of malnutrition. Yeah, so we try to balance the equation by having 2 feeding troughs at a time. Yeah, and then their scientific name is Bubalus bubalis.
This is where we come to the end of today's program, where we looked at the buffalo's way of life. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of the program, Animal Life. I am Fatima Suleiman saying goodbye.